Assalamu alaikum guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to start the topic appendicular skeleton that we were previously studying. We were studying the two parts of appendicular skeleton, the pectoral girdle and the forelimb. Today we will start the next two parts of the appendicular skeleton, that are pelvic girdle and hind limb. Here you can see the pelvic girdle and hind limb, or simply that is called a lower limb. The pelvic girdle and hind limb means the next two parts of the appendicular skeleton. You can see that our portion is the pelvic girdle, and the remaining portion here in the diagram is hind limb. So let's move to the pelvic girdle and study it in detail. The third part of the appendicular skeleton we are studying, that is pelvic girdle, that is also called simply hip girdle, because it is constituting your bones of hip region. The bones of the hip region are mainly called pelvic girdle. If we talk about the shape of the bones, then it is a basin shaped bone. You can see in this diagram it is a basin shaped bone, and the function of this bone is the connection of the trunk to the legs. Means the upper part of your body and the legs are connected to each other by the help of this pelvic girdle, that is a basin shaped bone. It also supports your urinary bladder and intestine and internal sex organs that are present in this region. According to the anatomy or structure of this bone, the pelvic girdle consists of two main bones that are called coxal bone. This is the first bone and this is the second bone. First bone and second bone, they are differentiated on the basis of their sides. One bone is present on the left side of the body and the other bone is present on the right side of the body. So the pelvic girdle is totally consist of two bones that are called coxal bones. These coxal bones are further consist of three bones. The first bone is ilium, the second bone is ischium, and the third one bone is pubis. You can see in this diagram that ilium is the uppermost bone and it is a fan shaped bone. Hand fan, as you have see the hand fans, it is a hand fan shaped bone and it is the uppermost bone of the coxal bones. The second bone, that is ischium, and ischium is the lower is forming the lower and back part of the coxal bones or simple hip bone. And the third bone of the that is present in the coxal bone is the pubis, and it is a forward facing bone, means it is present on the front side or the anterior side of the body. So the pelvic girdle is total consist of only two bones that are called collective bones. That is collectively called coxal bones, and the coxal bone is further consist of three bones that are ilium, ischium, and pubis. So the calculation of the pelvic girdle bones is simply 2, and these bones are called coxal bones, and these total are 2 bones. As you can remind that you have studied the pectoral girdle in the last lecture, and that pectoral girdle will consist of 4 bones. But as you are studying this pelvic girdle, there are 2 less bones as compared to the pectoral girdle. The last part of appendicular skeleton is hind limb, which is commonly called lower limb of the body. Lower limb means your legs and the feet constitute the hind limb or the lower limb of the body. So these are the bones that are main bones of the hind limb. First one is femur, second is patella, third is tibia, fibula, fourth one, fifth are tarsals, then metatarsals, and then are phalanges. Now we will study femur in detail. The first is a femur, which is commonly called thigh bone because it is present on your thigh. The most important thing about the femur is that it is the longest and strongest bone of the body. It can come in the MCQs of the paper that which is the longest and strongest bone of the body, then that is femur or simply called thigh bone. As you can see, it will help in the standing and movement of the body, and the important thing about this bone is also that it is supporting the tendons, muscles and ligaments. If you talk about the position of this bone, then this bone is present between the pelvic girdle and the knee joint and is also the longest bone of the body. The second bone that is present in the hind limb, or you can say that in your legs, is patella. That is patella. This patella is a small bone that is located in front of your knee joint, as you can see in that diagram. This patella, the function, if we talk about the function of the patella bone, the function of the patella bone is that it will help in the bending of your leg along with the muscles. Means the muscles will help patella in the bending of the legs. Moving to the third bone, that is tibia, and it is also called shin bone because it is present at the shin position. The most important thing about the tibia is that this bone carries majority of the body weight. Whatever your body weight is, the major bone that is carrying your weight of the body, that is tibia. Tibia is present between the knee joint and between the tarsals. Between knee joint and tarsals, that were the next bone you will see. The next bone which is also present at the lower leg is the fibula. Tibia and fibula both are the bones that are present in the lower leg, but the difference between the tibia and fibula is that the fibula is smaller than tibia in length, and it is also the cylinder bone. It is commonly called calf bone because of its position, and the most important thing about the fibula is that it is the most cylinder of all long bones. The long bones in the body are such as you have studied in the pectoral girdle, the humerus and radius and ulna were also long bone, and you have studied in the hind limb, the femur, tibia and fibula are also long bones, but fibula is the most cylinder of all long bones, means it is the most thin of the all long bones. It is present at the side of the tibia, and the tibia will be present at your thumb side and the fibula will be present on the other side. Femur, tibia and fibula, they were the bones of the leg. Femur were the bones of the upper leg, and the tibia and fibula was bones of the lower leg. But next are tarsals, that are bones of ankle bones of the feet. You can see that there are total 7 tarsals in one feet. You can name them according to their distance from the tibia and fibula. There are 3 rows of the tarsals. The first row is called proximal tarsals. The second is middle tarsals or simply intermediate tarsals, and the third is distal tarsals. The first bone, that is calcaneus and talus. These bones are included in proximal tarsals. These 2 bones are included in proximal tarsals. The third bone, that is navicular, this is included in middle or intermediate tarsals, and the last 2, cuboid and cuneiforms, are included in distal tarsals. The most important thing is that the cuneiform is also divided into three types of cuneiform, that is medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform and lateral cuneiform. So when you count the calcaneus, talus, navicular, cuboid and middle cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform and lateral cuneiform, the bones will be total 7. These pink bones are cuneiform and you can see that there are this is divided into 3. So they are named on the basis of their position: middle cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform and lateral cuneiform. Next to the tarsals are the metatarsals, and these metatarsals are the bones of your feet. But you can see that the bones of the feet excluding your fingers. The fingers are not included in metatarsals. There are total 5 bones that are metatarsals. 1, this is the second, third, fourth and this one is 5th bone. If we count the bones, metatarsal bones of both feet, then there will be total 10 bones. These are also long and slender bones, and as you can see that it is present in feet, so this is understood that it will help in walking and the weight bearing. The last bones that are present in the hind limb are phalanges, and these phalanges are commonly called finger bones. When you will talk about the phalanges of the hind limb, it means the finger bones of feet, and when you will talk about the phalanges of forelimb, it means the finger bones of hand. There are total 14 bones in the phalanges if we talk about only one foot. And when you will talk about the both feet, then there will be total 28 phalanges. The phalanges are divided into 3 rows, and the 3 rows are proximal phalanges, middle phalanges and third is distal phalanges, and they are named because of their distance from the metatarsals. The proximal phalanges are present near to the metatarsal bones, so they are called proximal, and the distal phalanges are present away from the metatarsal bones, so they are called distal phalanges. And it is understood that between the proximal and distal phalanges are middle or intermediate phalanges. You can count these phalanges that there are only 14 phalanges present in the feet and present in one foot, and there will be total 28 phalanges in both feet. Here the bones of the hind limb are also completed, and when you will count them, there are total 2 femur, one on the right leg and the second one will be on the left leg. Same is the case with the patella and tibia and fibula. They are one on the right side and the other one on the left side. Tarsals were 7 tarsals, and when you will count for both feet, then they will be 14 tarsals. Same is the case with metatarsals, 5 in one foot and 10 in both. And phalanges, 14 in one foot and 28 in both. So when you will count the total bones in the hind limb, that it will constitute 60 bones in the hind limb. Next we are going through the calculation of bones of appendicular skeleton, that how many total bones are present in the appendicular skeleton. So you have studied pectoral girdle in the last lecture. I will give the link of in the description box. If you have not studied yet, then you can study them. So that 4 bones in the pectoral girdle, we have counted forelimb bones that were 60. Pelvic girdle have 2 bones and hind limb have 60 bones there. So there are total 126 bones in the appendicular skeleton. Next is the calculation bones of total skeleton. You have studied that axial skeleton has a total 80 bones, and now we have calculated the appendicular skeleton have 126 bones. So you have also studied that the total bones are 206. So the axial skeleton 60 bones and the appendicular skeleton 126 bones will collectively form 206 bones of the total body. I hope you have learned about and you have understand that how there are 206 total bones in the human body. If you like this video and if this is helpful for you, then share it with your friends. And if you have any difficulty regarding any topic of biology, you can comment the name of the topic below. Thank you so much.